Welcome into another victory edition of Browns Live. Nathan Zegura joined as always by one of the all-time greatest to ever play the game, Joe Thomas. And we welcome in now the head coach of your Cleveland Browns, Kevin Stefanski, your 8-3 Cleveland Browns. And we're going to go into this week's game review presented by Serpentini Chevrolet. And coach, you go down to Florida, take care of business against a very game Jags team. But what was it like, just the experience getting on the road? You guys hadn't been on the road in a long time, and you certainly didn't get to see the sun in about a month here in Cleveland.
Yeah, good to get on the road, get down to Florida, feel that nice Florida breeze, then have a great weather day down there in South Florida. You know, when we got off the airplane, it truly was a monsoon. It was a huge downpour. We had to circle a couple times before we landed, so I was surprised the weather didn't look like that on Sunday, just to stay on par with what we've been dealing with.
Jarvis Landry was incredible in the Jaguars game last weekend. He had a touchdown and over 140 yards receiving. How has he been instrumental in filling the void since the loss of OBJ?
Yeah, he's been outstanding. You know, Jarvis is a leader of ours. He leads by example with how he plays, how hard he plays, how he competes in the run game. And he'll speak up when appropriate with our guys. But just to see what he was doing out there in that game, we know what he's capable of. And I think he showed himself, he showed the league, he showed his teammates that he can still make all those plays.
Coach, once again, I mean, this is kind of becoming a redundant topic, even though it shouldn't be, because it's historic what they're doing. But 200-plus yards rushing again for Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, both over 6 yards per carry in this game against the Jags. When you watch this tape, are you sometimes just kind of, wow, you know, the consistency, the production, and then you get into that second half, and it's like they just turn it on and hit another gear?
Yeah, those guys have done a nice job, and they've made plays. You know, at times the things are blocked really, really well. And I can think of a few of them last week that came spitting out of there for big ones. And then at times, you know, we'll miss a block, or you give the defense credit, they defeat a block, or they run through a gap, and they still make yards. They found a way to run through an arm tackle, make a guy miss, run through a tackle. And that's a big part of this is making some dirty runs that almost were a loss of 3, turn them into a gain of 5.
You guys got the 8th win of the season on Sunday, assuring you that you won't have a losing season for the first time for the Browns since my rookie year in 2007. Is that meaningful at all for you guys and your staff, even though this is your first year in Cleveland?
Yeah, Joe, we really don't talk much about the past. It's something we really put the blinders on, and we focus on the game in front of us. And we're very respectful of the past. I mean, this is a storied franchise, so we respect what's come before us, but we really got to make sure that we're keeping what's in front of us is the most important for us.
And that is to go 1-0 every week. And the most important thing on your plate now will be the 8-3 Tennessee Titans. And we will talk about that when you rejoin us later on in the show. But coming up next on Browns Live, powered by FirstEnergy, Nick Chubb mic'd up. That's right. Perhaps the greatest runner in the league today, mic'd up for your listening pleasure. Next on Browns Live.
Bring color to life with the very best paint, only at your Sherwin-Williams store.
For as long as I can remember, I've watched the sunrise and I've watched the sunset, fueling my drive, feeding the fire within. Embrace it, harness it.
It's time to let the sun fuel your life. It's time to own your power.
Get your ice cold Bud Light. Bud Light Seltzer here. Even though you may not be able to come to the game this season, our proud partners at Bud Light can always bring a piece of the game to you. Ice cold Bud Light.
I'll take one.
Oh, right here. Bud Light. Ice cold Bud Light.
Time to start it up, America. You've got a lot of joy to make. So we're kicking off the Ford Built for the Holidays sales event because you've got turkeys to fry and thanks to give. It's our thing. To help you do it right, we're giving you 90 days payment deferment and 1,000 trade assist cash on the built Ford Tough F-150 and Ford Ranger. That's on top of what your eligible trade is worth. That'll make a lot of joy this holiday. Ford, built for the holidays.
The world has changed, but some facts remain. Every 40 seconds, someone has a heart attack, and every hour, over 700 people suffer a broken bone. While those numbers haven't changed, there are fewer people seeking the treatment they need. If you're injured, sick, or in pain, it's safe to get the care you need at university hospitals. Protecting your health with science and compassion. That's UH Safe.
Welcome back to Browns Live, powered by FirstEnergy. Nathan Zegura, and of course, the legend, Joe Thomas with you. And a man who's on the way to becoming a legend is Nick Chubb. He's rushed for 100 yards in 3 straight games. The last 5 games he started and finished, he's been over the century mark. He is elite. And Joe, how fun would it be to block for Nick Chubb?
Oh man, I just lay awake at night just dreaming of being able to block for a guy like Nick Chubb. He makes everybody on that offense better, and he rewards those offensive linemen for the good and dirty work that they do up front on nearly every carry he gets the football.
He is not a man of many words, but when he does speak, people listen. And we're going to take a listen to Nick Chubb mic'd up against the Eagles, presented by Ruoff Mortgage.
It's the Philadelphia Eagles at 3-5-1 against the Cleveland Browns, who are 6-3, trying to get to win number 7.
They ain't wet enough. Nah, they get sticky the wetter they get.
Here's Nick Chubb, and from behind, Rodney McLeod, the safety, no gain. Gave it to Chubb. Chubb got hit right away and knocked out. Big hit by Malik Jackson.
Ass up, boy! Let me wipe that off for you, baby!
Not over here, boy. You know what you can do, hey. You breaking jobbers, you know what you can do.
They all over me.
I know. You got your mask up under your neck.
Huh?
You got your mask on.
For real?
You want to be a doctor of football for real.
The Chubb run to the left and a stutter step and a cutback and a stiff arm 45. He's to the 50. He's to the 40. 35, 30. He cuts back left again. He's to the 20. He's to the 15. He's to the 10. He's to the 9. Oh, Nick Chubb is back.
Me, brother. Get this man the ball. Hey, get him the ball.
Hey, to the water! Oxygen!
You ain't done yet, you? It ain't it, is it?
Here's Mayfield giving, Chubb running, he's through the middle, and he leaps over a tackler over the 30, and they're going to put him down at the 27-yard line at the first down marker.
Nick Chubb now the first running back all year to rush for 100 yards against this Eagles defense.
Hell, I got 100. I got 100.
Congratulations, Nick Chubb, 3,000 yards rushing.
We get clean edge like that, we got everything we want.
You also stiff arm that guy in tomorrow.
Run for a first down on
Just when you watch the game, just watch me after.
Hey, nice job making him run the hump.
Now, Nick Chubb lets his play on the field do the vast majority of his talking, Joe. And boy, I wouldn't say it's talking. It is screaming, I am elite. And I'll ask you, is he one of the best running backs in the NFL? And by the way, that's what we call a softball question in the biz.
Nathan, not only am I going to say he's one of the best running backs in the NFL, I'm going to proudly and confidently say he is the best running back in the NFL. There's nobody in the NFL that does more when the play is blocked for less than Nick Chubb. He is extremely exciting to watch, and he makes everybody on that field better, and he turns a bad block into maybe less than a bad block, and you can sit there in those meeting rooms and laugh about maybe missing your block because Nick Chubb, he can take anything for a first down.
He brings the electricity whenever he touches the ball at FirstEnergy Stadium, but we want to see you bring that energy. Browns fans, FirstEnergy wants to see your best fan energy this season. Submit a picture or video displaying your Browns fandom using the hashtag BestFanEnergy on social media for a chance to win 2 tickets to a Browns game this season. When we return on Browns Live, powered by FirstEnergy, hear from Jarvis Landry. He of 8 catches, he of 143 yards, and his first touchdown on the season, a dominating performance in Jacksonville. He joins us exclusively on Browns Live, and that's next.
Time to make your disappointing breakfast your X-Fist, because Wendy's has your new breakfast love. With a fresh cracked egg on every sandwich and crispy oven-baked bacon, you'll be telling everybody about the new breakfast you're seeing at Wendy's. Hurry in for the breakfast of your dreams today.
Get your ice cold Bud Light Seltzer here. Even though you may not be able to come to the game this season, our proud partners at Bud Light can always bring a piece of the game to you. Ice cold Bud Light.
I'll take one.
Oh, right here. Bud Light. Ice cold Bud Light. In 2013, we turned the lights on to FirstEnergy Stadium. Together, we've seen good energy come from powerful runs.
Touchdown, Nick Chubb! He's done it again!
Witnessed electrifying sacks.
Miles Garrett got him!
But the best energy comes from Cleveland Browns fans who truly light up our communities. From our home to your home, no matter where you watch the game, we'll be there bringing good energy to power the best fans in Northeast Ohio.
Our students don't just read books or write papers. They forge new paths and new ideas. At LECOM, we build medical professionals who excel. We create the foundation of a better world. We seek new ways to aid others. We lead the next generation. We guide the future of medicine. At LECOM, we make doctors.
The door to a car you've been saving for. The door to a personal loan that feels genuinely personal. The door to a bedroom for each of your teenagers. The door to a new employee who's also your neighbor. And the door to a happy and full life for you and everyone you know. This year, KeyBank has already opened over 170,000 doors, helping people get from where they were to where they wanted to be. KeyBank opens doors.
Time to make your disappointing breakfast your X-Fist, because Wendy's has your new breakfast love. With a fresh cracked egg on every sandwich and crispy oven-baked bacon, you'll be telling everybody about the new breakfast you're seeing at Wendy's. Hurry in for the breakfast of your dreams today.
Welcome back to Browns Live, powered by FirstEnergy. Nathan Zegura alongside Browns legend Joe Thomas. And Joe, I'm not ashamed to admit it. I love Jarvis Landry. I've loved him from the day that he came to the Browns, that contagious speech, the way he plays the game, his toughness. I think he just embodies what it means to be a Cleveland Brown. And we had the good fortune of catching up with him after his best game of the year in this week's Player Spotlight, presented by Electronic Merchant Systems.
Mayfield under center. Motion and Mayfield play action fake. Looks, pumps, throws. Landry caught it! Touchdown! He's in the end zone!
His first of the year.
Jarvis Landry. Oh, that's great to see.
All right, we're joined now by Browns wide receiver Jarvis Landry. And Jarvis, it had to feel good to have a game like you just did in Jacksonville. What was clicking for you on that day?
Man, we had a great week of practice, you know, as a team, even though it was a bit of a different type of week for us. We had a great week of practice, and you know, we knew going into the game we wanted to try to take advantage in the air, and we got opportunities and we made plays.
And was it one of those things where you guys knew it was going to come eventually, even though you guys had about 3 straight games where it was really difficult to get the passing game going?
Yeah, and like I said too, like that the whole week, you know, leading up into the game, you can kind of feel that that's what we were trying to do or are gonna attempt to do, and And as the week unfolded and the game plan continued to unfold, we know we wanted to do some things in the air, and guys were really excited, man. And most of all, we got the dub doing it.
I know in previous years we've asked you about the identity of the Browns offense, and it's been a little bit tough to describe. I mean, it seems like now, though, this team has a pretty clear-cut way it moves the football. How nice has that been for you, and what do you like most about this offense?
Yeah, I mean, as we go on, I think the best football that we're going to play is ahead of us. Obviously, we all see that, our offense begins in that backfield, and as that backfield goes, and everybody else starts to go and get involved and things like that. So, for me, it's obviously doing an amazing job in the run game, making sure that we can get the running backs to the second and third levels, which would then, force the defense to come a little bit tighter, and then we can make those plays deep down the field, or, have to only beat one or two guys to make a play. So I think for me, just understanding that, embracing that is something that, it wasn't difficult at all, but, it's definitely something week in and week out, now that I've definitely embraced.
Any added intensity when you're going into a game where both teams just have great records and so much is on the line?
I mean, these are the games that, you look for is this time of the year. You're looking around and, you're comparing teams, you're comparing records, and who they have, who we have. And, these are the type of games at this time of the year where, it's going to feel like a playoff type of atmosphere. And, those 2 or 3 plays are going to dictate the game. So, we want to make sure that we're on the plus side of those.
Good luck, Jarvis, on Sunday, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Andrew.
Great job by Andrew Gribble sitting down with Jarvis there, but now it's time. It's Joe's favorite. Let's go in the film room. This week's play breakdown presented by Microsoft Surface, and we're going to start with Nick Chubb. Joe, you said earlier you would love to block for him because, boy, he's going to make you right no matter what. And let's take a look at this. This is going to be wide zone to the right, but the Jags had other ideas, and Nick Chubb, boy, well, he just did the rest.
Absolutely, Nick Chubb. He's going to start the play to the right, and as he's pressing the ball into the line of scrimmage, he notices that the backside defensive tackle's got a little bit of leakage in that gap that he's used to cutting up and into. So what does Nick Chubb do? He looks all the way to the backside of the play where the safety is crashing down off of Austin Hooper's butt. Going to be able to stop the play, but what does Nick Chubb do? He stutters his feet for a half a second. It gets the safety to stop his feet for just a split second. Nick Chubb is able to get his shoulders up the field, and he's able to work back down towards the goal line to be able to turn what should be a -2 yard run into a +9 yard run. If you stop this play right there, where you see basically 3 defenders at the line of scrimmage who all have beaten their blocks, and you say, what happens on this play? Everybody's going to say, oh, this is a lost yardage run. But when you've got a guy like Nick Chubb in the backfield who's able to stop, accelerate, hesitate, make and create space within that defense, and then cut up and work his way back through the defense, it's just magical. And he's able to turn what should be chicken crap into chicken salad. It's a beautiful thing when you're an offensive lineman to watch.
As we go on here in the play breakdown, we get into the red zone, and this is where the Browns have been excellent this year. Kevin Stefanski dialing up good play after good play. And Joe, they come out with all 3 tight ends to the right. And now we had shown this look multiple times in this game. You're going to get a shift where Austin Hooper is going to come across, and you're going to balance the tight ends because then you're going to have Harrison Bryant come back into that offset eye as a fullback. We did that twice prior to that play in this game alone. Both times they were runs. This one, a play action touchdown. Take it away, Joe.
Yeah, this one is all about the setup, like you said, Nathan. This is about Kevin Stefanski finding a way to put all of his tight ends in the game, which gives them a mismatch, and it creates confusion within the defense on who's covering who and where they're supposed to be within the zone. Like you mentioned, they start everybody on the right side, and then basically they're moving 2 out of their 3 tight ends to the left side to create that confusion that you need. Austin Hooper is just going to run a little bit of a corner route, and Harrison Bryant is just going to run into the flat. You're going to see when the ball is thrown that all 3 tight ends who started on the right side are going to be in a zone on the left side in what looks like a triangle. It's flooding the zone. It's creating that confusion, and that's exactly what they did. It created enough confusion within that Jacksonville secondary that they didn't know who to cover. Baker Mayfield makes the smart decision, throws to the wide open Austin Hooper in the end zone, just like you draw it up on Wednesdays on the whiteboard.
And that's the beautiful thing. And that's kind of, you talk about this window dressing all the time where you're trying to just get a little bit of a confusion, a little bit of a tell. And as you mentioned, you have those three tight ends on the right initially, and instead you end up with kind of all three on the left and the chief right in the middle of the field. And it's just a great read by Baker, a great play action fake. And that's what you do. You build off of these things. You sequence them and then you implement them. And that's something Kevin Stefanski's done well. Great throw from Baker, great catch, touchdown Browns. And the man who was the architect of that play and the Browns' 8-3 winning season, head coach Kevin Stefanski, he's next previewing this big showdown with the Tennessee Titans when Browns Live, powered by FirstEnergy, returns.
The door to a car you've been saving for. The door to a personal loan that feels genuinely personal. The door to a bedroom for each of your teenagers. The door to a new employee who's also your neighbor. And the door to a happy and full life for you and everyone you know. This year, KeyBank has already opened over 170,000 doors, helping people get from where they were to where they wanted to be. KeyBank opens doors.
Get your ice cold Bud Light Seltzer here. Even though you may not be able to come to the game this season, our proud partners at Bud Light can always bring a piece of the game to you. Ice cold Bud Light.
I'll take one.
Oh, right here. Bud Light. Ice cold Bud Light. In 2013, we turned the lights on to FirstEnergy Stadium. Together, we've seen good energy come from powerful runs.
Touchdown to Chubb! He's done it again!
Witnessed electrifying sacks.
Myles Garrett got him!
But the best energy comes from Cleveland Browns fans who truly light up our communities. From our home to your home, no matter where you watch the game, we'll be there bringing good energy to power the best fans in Northeast Ohio.
The world has changed, but some facts remain. Every 40 seconds, someone has a heart attack, and every hour, over 700 people suffer a broken bone. While those numbers haven't changed, there are fewer people seeking the treatment they need. If you're injured, sick, or in pain, it's safe to get the care you need at university hospitals. Protecting your health with science and compassion. That's UH Safe.
Welcome back into Browns Live, powered by FirstEnergy. Nathan Zegura alongside the legend, Joe Thomas. And we welcome back in the head coach of your 8-3 Cleveland Browns for this week's game preview presented by Ruoff Mortgage. And coach, this is a big one. You're 8-3, so is your opponent, the Tennessee Titans. And I try to say, you know, you'd see that Spider-Man meme where the two Spider-Mans are looking at each other. It's kind of the same. They do a lot of similar things on offense that we do. They like to run the ball. They've got a great running back, Derrick Henry, the leading rusher in the NFL. They like to hit you down the field off of play action, and that's what Ryan Tannehill has been excellent at so far this year. Do you see that similarity when you look at this team?
I do. I have a ton of respect for what Coach Vrabel does down there in Nashville. They have, I think, a really good defense, multiple in their schemes. They really play everything, and they play it pretty well. And then on offense, I think Arthur Smith does an outstanding job. Their run game, coupled with the play action shots that they take and the players they have in the perimeter that can hurt you, I think it's a really, really balanced attack.
No sacks last weekend against the Jaguars, but we're expecting Myles Garrett back this weekend. How much of a boost will Myles Garrett be for specifically that pass rush on your defense?
Yeah, I think, Joe, if you go back and watch Miles in the previous games, I mean, he's making game-changing plays, rushing the passer, and he's getting sacks, he's getting strip sacks. So he's somebody that we count on. I think it's no secret that he's a great player. So to have him back out there and apply pressure to the quarterback, help in the run game, I think is a big deal.
Coach, we always like to take questions from our fans on Browns Live, and this week's best fan question, powered by FirstEnergy, comes from Reddit user Remy, and he says, do you put everything you have into a win and to get the win in each week, or do you hold some things back for more important games down the road?
I think they're all important, so it's not, I wouldn't say we hold anything back in a game per se, but there is, you can't run everything you have in your offense. You can't run every good idea you got. So you definitely put things on hold, and you say, all right, we're going to go down there with a nice tight game plan where our guys can have a big understanding with a small menu and know that we have plenty of ideas that we'll use for the next one.
Coach, in addition to the business at hand on the field, we've talked a lot about, your team and their contributions in the community, social justice space, and to the causes that matter to them the most. And this week is the My Cause, My Cleats game. What does that mean to you and to this team?
Yeah, I think it's an outstanding thing that the NFL does to bring awareness to different charity groups around the country. And for me, it's Boys Hope, Girls Hope, which is an organization that does a great job with young scholars and mentoring them and fostering a place where they can continue their education. They do a great job here in the community. I got to know them a little bit really early in the pandemic as some of our charities around our cities were struggling with somebody that I became aware of, and my family and I have really been excited to get to know this group, and I want to make sure I bring some awareness to what they're doing. And there's so many great causes out there, and for me, Boys Hope, Girls Hope is one that I want to make sure that people are aware of and just understand the great work that they're doing in our community with our future.
Coach, that's tremendous. Thank you so much for sharing that. And thank you so much for all you do for Browns fans with this 8-3 Browns team. And I know you are not satisfied, looking to go 1-0 this week, 9-3, and take care of business in Tennessee. Thanks so much for the time, and good luck on Sunday.
Thanks, guys.
And we've had a great time here on Browns Live today. But before we go, as always, we want to take a moment to recognize a frontline worker who has made a tremendous impact in their community during the pandemic. Each game during the regular season, the Browns will honor this individual prior to kickoff as part of our Hats Off to Our Heroes program. This week's hero is Alice Ramser, the director and treasurer of Audrey's Outreach. Alice helped transition from indoor food and supply donations to a drive-through to keep all participants safe during the pandemic. Alice, from all of us at the Browns, we thank you. One more thing, Browns fans, to put on your calendar. It is very important. The Taste of the Browns telethon event kicks off Friday, December the 4th during News 5's 4 p.m. newscast, leading up to a special show hosted by John Doss and yours truly. We'll be featuring a variety of special guests, including current Browns player Jarvis Landry and my incomparable co-host, Joe Thomas, along with local chef Rocco Whalen at 7 o'clock to 7:30. The online auction, which benefits the Cleveland Food Bank, will feature Browns memorabilia, including a Myles Garrett autographed jersey, a Jarvis Landry autographed helmet, a Baker Mayfield autographed football, and much, much more. Every dollar donated provides 4 nutritious meals to those in need. To donate or view and bid on auction items, go to www.greaterclevelandfoodbank.org/taste telethon. Well, that'll do it for another jam-packed edition of Browns Live, powered by FirstEnergy. On behalf of our unbelievable production team and the legend himself, Joe Thomas, I'm Nathan Zegura, reminding you to get your Sunday started at 11 a.m. with Browns Countdown, giving you all the latest for the Browns and the Titans. A huge showdown this Sunday. Everybody stay safe out there, and remember, let's go Browns.